Alright, so this is the big day. Mastering Astral Projection, day 90. So, still didn't do it, still haven't done it. Things that have been changing are that I've been working in bed early in the morning. I've also taken a break from it. People were suggesting to do that too, and just work on raising energy, and not try to do any of the astral projection or OBE itself. And I'm getting really good at raising energy. I mean, I can. Somebody probably around week 67 or so started a conversation with me, and one of the things that he mentioned was that he's been doing this for years and years, and he's able to just really just sit and think about raising energy, and the sensation of the feeling of the body having the energy body disconnect happens almost instantly from years of practice. So I thought, oh, okay, that's interesting. So, stored that in the back of my mind, and then kept thinking about just raising energy. And I can get to the point where I can raise energy really fast and I can feel the energy in my body. However, I never get the exit sensations. So the Astral Projection Forum, I posted, and one of the moderators who, has like over 20,000 posts, he said, you might be one of those rare people that doesn't have exit symptoms. And I'm like, oh, isn't that lovely? So, I have still, practiced, but if I'm a person that doesn't get exit symptoms, it's really hard to determine when the exit's going to happen and when to actually start doing the exit techniques. So I've just been practicing doing the exit techniques, and obviously still not having any luck with it. But I know that my energy body, I'm feeling it because I can raise the energy. So I know that that's happening. And some of the experiences that I've been having early in the morning when I wake up from sleeping are, my dreams get really interesting. I seem to be having lots of group dreams with lots of other people doing things. And when I wake up from them, they're very curious because they're never in locations that I'm familiar with. They're never people that I'm familiar with. And I'm doing things I'm not familiar with. And I've had some dreams where I'm meeting teachers, and I'm setting the intention a lot of times before I go to bed at night that I want to be meeting teachers when I'm dreaming. So I still can't command a lucid dream. I still can't get myself to remember to check in my dream whether or not I'm dreaming. But as I've told you before, there have been a number of dreams of black people, and they're either threatening me or trying to teach me something, or they're shunning me or something. So it seems to be some part of self-protection or ego or something that has been consciously preventing me from moving into the astral projection state. And it's represented by black people, which is interesting. I mean, and I call them black people. I'm not calling them African Americans because honestly, I know they're American. So they could be African. In fact, even sometimes they are. So, so that's an interesting thing. The other thing is that I started talking about astral transference. This is something I've been working with for a really long time, but they've got a technique in the book. So I don't really have that many followers on this blog, so I'm not really worried about copyright infringement. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read this from the book, so that you can have an opportunity to try it out if you want to. Now, the astral transference is like the OBE, but it's not an OBE. It's what they would call like a mental trance experience. So I'm going to show you this symbol. This is the astral transference symbol, and I guess it's fairly ubiquitous amongst people that use this particular technique, but I'm going to read this to you. Imagine you're walking through the doors of an immense shopping mall. As you enter, you see a broad, shop-lined walk ebbing into the distance. The sounds of voices and footsteps from lively shoppers echo from the granite tile walkway. The crowd passes you in knots of teenagers, men and women carrying shopping bags, couples browsing at shop windows. There's a vague sense of excitement in the air, like the days preceding a holiday. Along either side of the main walk you see bookstores, sporting goods stores, shoe shops, and novelty stores. There is an atrium above you which allows you to view layers of shops on higher levels. Far overhead you can see a glass ceiling, and beyond it blue sky dotted with soft white clouds. Begin walking. Feel the granite tiles beneath your feet as you weave between the shoppers. There are large fountains running down the middle of the mall, and, while the crowd noise is everywhere, you hear the faint sound of running water as you approach the nearest fountain. As you near it, you feel a gentle mist on your face, and in the air you smell a faint scent of chlorine. Next to the fountain is a stone bench on which lies a notebook and a pen. Sit beside the fountain, pick up the pen, and open the notebook. Open the first page, write down a problem you are currently having, an issue that's been distracting you, or something that has been on your mind lately, but don't look too hard for something to write if nothing has been preoccupying you lately. If there is something bothering you, write down what it is, then rip the page out of the notebook and set the page on the surface of the fountain's water. As the paper touches the water, it becomes saturated and the ink begins to bleed and blur. The paper soon disintegrates and its remnants are swept toward the whirlpool above the drain. The page disappears down the gurgler and is soon forgotten. You can continue this for a while, writing things that are bothering you and feeding them to the fountain, a single problem per page. When nothing more comes to mind, stand and continue walking down the mall until you see a large escalator. Get on the escalator with the other shoppers and feel yourself moving upward until you reach the next level. Like the main floor, this one is also crowded. Off to the side you can see a wide food court. The pale marble floor is packed with chairs and tables, and along the walls are vendors offering different kinds of cuisine. You can smell the scent of various foods intermingled with the aroma of coffee. You hear the sounds of blenders and coffee machines cutting through the din of voices and the scrape of chairs as people sit. Spend a minute or two here before moving on to the escalator and heading up to the next level. This level is full of clothing shops, bordered with pillars and railings of silver and polished brass. You peer inside the shops as you pass and see patrons browsing, sorting through clothing racks, holding up items and posing before mirrors. You hear muffled music from unseen loudspeakers amongst shoppers' voices, the slight screech of hangers moving along racks, and cashier sounds as they ring up sales. The smell of perfume and leather and new clothes fills the air. You follow the escalator up to the next floor. This level is quieter and slightly less crowded than the others, and the background music is a little more recognizable. This level is well lit and lined with brick. The stores here are electronics shops filled with cell phones and televisions, computers, and stereo equipment. You can smell the scent of new electronics, carpet, and hear the faint sounds of TV sets in the distance. You take the escalator to the next level, and this one is even less crowded. Feel the polished wood floor beneath you as you examine collections of housewares. There are tablecloths and placemats, appliances, pots and pans, plates and silverware, towels, and bathroom carpets. There are beds arranged here boasting new sheets, quilts, and bedspreads. You smell furniture polish and fresh linen. Among the sparse crowd, you see well-dressed salespeople scanning for needy customers. You make your way up the escalator to the next level. Lined with potted palms, the sounds of your footsteps are swallowed by the heavy carpet. It is even quieter here. A few shoppers browse among fine crystal, gleaming silverware, and elegant china. There are jewelry and fine furniture here. Hand-woven carpets hang along the walls next to oil paintings framed in gold and dark wood. What few shoppers you see move quietly among the displays and whisper to one another. There is a subdued energy here, like that of a museum. Next, you see a wide stairway leading upward. You climb it until you reach the highest level, the level with the glass ceiling. You find yourself alone, and it is very quiet. You walk to the edge of the atrium and look down to see the lower levels. The banister, walls, and ceiling of this level are made of steel-framed glass. You look outside to see a brilliant blue sky dotted with puffy white clouds. You turn and move into a shallow hallway where you see a grand pair of elevator doors. The Astral transference symbol hangs above them. On the doors themselves are large gold letters that say Astral Planes. Pressing the elevator call button, the doors part, and you step inside a perfectly white elevator. The doors close and you press the top button that reads Astral Planes. You feel the elevator accelerating upward, Feel the sensation in the center of your being as you rise higher and higher. Then, gradually, the elevator slows and stops. There is a pause and the doors open. You step out of the elevator and into the astral planes. There, you can meet friends or loved ones who have passed away. Perhaps you just want to explore. Adventures await you everywhere. If you want to travel to a higher astral plane, get back into the elevator and press the big up arrow. When you are finished, return to the elevator and press the down arrow. Feel yourself descending. After a time, you hear muffled music and crowd noise. The elevator doors part and you find yourself back on the first floor of the mall, ready to wake up. It says, make the above visualization as real and as concrete as possible. Leave all the thoughts, feeling your physical body behind you. Focus entirely on your current surroundings, etc., etc., etc. Your memories of these experiences will be vivid when you break trance, as no shadow memory download is involved. So they suggest writing down your thoughts as soon as possible, because the memory will fade quickly, just like a dream. So anyway, there actually is one more day. There's a day 91, so I'll be posting again. And then I'm still on the fence of what I'm going to do. I've been reading Robert Monroe, and one of the things that I have been focusing on is really improving my meditation skills. And so to do that, I've done a couple of things. I've been candle gazing, and then shutting your eyes so that you get the piece of the candle that you were looking at glowing in your mind's eye, and then you follow it and you try and hold it in space, clearing the mind out. The reason that I'm doing this is I feel that it's not that I've had a lot of mind chatter when I'm doing the astral projection work, because it's actually not been that way. But when reading Robert Monroe, one of the things that he talks about is really having that part of your meditation practice exceedingly clear. And he steps through the process of getting to the OBE in a different way than Robert Bruce does. It's much more articulate, actually, in the stages that you go through until you reach the OBE. So I've been just really focusing on, when I'm meditating, getting my mind to be exceedingly still. So the candle technique works really well because it gives you something to focus on. And one of the things that I've considered doing is mastering astral projection troubleshooting. I know that we've had some troubleshooting in the Mastering Astral Projection books itself, but I'm thinking about taking it on to myself and reading some other people and combining some troubleshooting techniques into trying to get this to happen, so that people who have followed this all the way through or get to day 90 to see if I actually did it or not, they'll have something that explains what the next part of the journey is, so that we're not just cutting it off and ending it here. So anyway, long post, but hopefully worth it.